I never play the things. I don't touch them.
Now on CNET Central.
Yuck! There's more violence in video games than ever before. Some say the blood and guts have gone too far. Others just say,
How you like that?
Finding a long-lost friend can be easy using the web. How it worked for these young men and how it can work for you.
the reviews are out and the Lost World is a smash. Now it's time for a sneak preview of the new Lost World video game.
Plus news about controlling where your personal information goes in cyberspace and how to pick up any radio signal with your computer.
Before you hit the links, you'll want to check out our best of the web. This week we've got the best golf and tennis sites around. And if you're inflamed about something you've seen online, I think we have the perfect solution for you right now on CNET Central.
Now, from the #1 on-air and online information source for the digital age, this is CNET Central.
Hi, I'm Richard Hart.
And I'm Gina St. John. Welcome to CNET Central.
A new wave of almost absurdly violent video games is sweeping the gaming industry. Developers are going where the money is, producing games that provide the gamer with more explosions and violence in the first 5 minutes than they'll see in a whole summer of action blockbusters.
Splatterfest software like Duke Nukem and Blood have replaced older games like Mortal Kombat and Doom as the new kings of terror. And there's no doubt these games are popular, according to PC data. Duke Nukem 3D is currently the best-selling of any computer game on the market.
So, naturally, some sociologists and politicians are arguing these games are too violent. They say these games desensitize us, affecting the way we perceive real violence. Others say it's simply a safe way to relieve aggression and have fun.
I kind of like the violence to it. Makes it more interesting.
What they're actually pretending to do in a game is kill or maim or murder or beat up.
Like hitting someone and then blood goes flying everywhere.
The debate rages on, and it's bloodier than ever. Are video games too violent? Darren McKeeman doesn't think so.
How you like that?
And he's been playing these kinds of games for 15 years.
When you get the right move going and you are able to grab the other person and pound them into the dirt and make it look really spectacular, it's just a real rush.
Images of exploding corpses, murder, and mayhem are all commonplace in these digital playgrounds, and that has some sociologists concerned. Donald Roberts, a professor at Stanford University, says when violent acts are rewarded in these games, they're more likely to be imitated.
This is one of the things that bothers me most about the video game violence, because it is in fact the game player who is rewarded for decapitating or blowing away the next character that appears on the screen.
I don't think that games influence people's actions if there are things that they do that are inappropriate in society. More than likely, they've been influenced by other things in their lives.
GT Interactive, makers of some of the most violent games on the market, also add their game's graphics are cartoonish by nature. The content should not be taken seriously.
A lot of games, the violence, if you want to call it violence, occurs between monsters that don't exist in life. You couldn't possibly look at an everyday scene out of life and say, gee, that just happened in the game. They're not the same.
To say that, well, we know that's fantasy, it's just a game, is totally beside the point. We now, in the United States Army, train our tank corps by the same kinds of virtual reality systems. The guys who are going through that know it's a game. But when they score kills, they get rewarded and they get promoted and they get pats on the back, and they generalize what they've learned to a real-world setting.
And it's the translation into real-world violence that has many politicians, including United States Senator Joe Lieberman, worried.
The gift these products give is to communicate the message that killing is cool and that viciousness is, in fact, some kind of virtue.
But Darren McKeeman doesn't see it that way. He believes these games are just another form of entertainment.
The fun bit about it is actually being able to play against other people, being able to play against your friends, and sometimes it can get out a lot of aggression.
Which is probably one reason these games are so popular. But Robert says turning violence into entertainment can desensitize us to the real violence in society.
If you are continually bathed in a diet of media violence, that after a while it doesn't mean that much to you, that you in effect become desensitized to the sufferings of others.
To help inform and advise parents and adults of violent content, Professor Roberts created the Recreational Software Advisory Council, otherwise known as RSAC. RSAC is a self-rating system which measures the level of violence, sex, and explicit language for game software.
If you want more information about RSAC, check out their website at www.rsac.org. And for those of you who want to try out some of these violent games, just for investigative purposes, I'm sure, head over to cnetsdownload.com for free downloads of Duke Nukem, Quake, and Blood.
You know, I think this is one of those situations where, as much as some people would like to do something about it, practically speaking, they can't. Technology can be used for good or evil. The choice is yours.
Well, here's a time when it's being
online, how to get back. And later, as Spielberg's Dino Fest roars through the theaters, we take a sneak peek at the companion video game.
I don't let my kids play them. I mean, there are a lot of them out there that are just, you know, shooting and guns, and I don't do that.
We see more violent stuff on the news.
No, I think it's a good release for them. I think it's a great way for them to get their aggressions out.
What happened to good old Pac-Man and stuff like that, you know? I mean, I really think that's kind of sad.